Well, the other evening we watched Evil Dead Rise, the fifth movie in the Evil Dead franchise, and the second female-led reboot in 10 years. Connor, what'd you think of Evil Dead Rise?
The plot of Evil Dead Rise is that when there's an earthquake, a family discovers the Necronomicon and a Necronomicon record thing. And they play the record and everybody starts getting possessed and the family has to fight for their lives to protect themselves and not die. So Aiden, what did you think of Evil Dead Rise?
Evil Dead Rise is pretty good. It lacks the comedy and camp of the original Evil Deads, the Raimi ones, because, you know, those are Raimi movies. No one can keep up with his level of camp. It's fairly self-serious, and the Evil Dead name is kind of just there for brand recognition, outside of like them reading the Necronomicon at the start. From there, it's a lot of fun. It's very, very gory, very ridiculously gory. There is some CGI, but there's a lot of practicality to it, which is always appreciated. Lots of makeup, lots of blood, lots of weird, gross shit. People spitting worms out and glass. You know, you could call the story a little weak, but that's not really the point, and it never has been for the franchise. And I would have liked a little more camp and humor, but it's effective horror. It's fun. It's gory. Gets a little goofy. Surprisingly brutal. Just you know, the two brother and sister, or sister and sister, or whatever the fuck they are decently young, and there's like another little child that gets mauled, and it's pretty gory, it's pretty over the top. At the end, all the dead fuse into a giant spider creature. It's really cool. You know, it's not a groundbreaking movie, but it's a gory, fun, action-y horror movie that has some surprisingly effective scares. Kind of a lame story, but lots of practical blood and gore and all that other stuff horror fans love. And I liked it a lot. Also, the title card drop is fantastic at the start of the movie. That shit's really cool. Connor, what'd you think of Evil Dead Rise?
I really liked Evil Dead Rise. I thought it was amazing. It's my second Evil Dead film after Evil Dead 2. I underrated Army of Darkness. Everybody loves Army of Darkness, and I think it's alright. And Evil Dead 1, I just think is so inferior to Evil Dead 2, because Evil Dead 2 is just Evil Dead 1, goofier, and done better. And the Evil Dead remake's alright. But Evil Dead Rise is a fun reintroduction to the Evil Dead world. Taken from a different angle, but following the same idea of the Necronomicon and stuff. I think the characters are likable enough. They're a little bland and two-dimensional. But I feel like all of the characters in Evil Dead are pretty bland and two-dimensional, aside from Ash, who kind of got fleshed out through the later sequels as this crazy character. And it's a little unfair because he also got his whole TV show, Ash vs. the Evil Dead, which is awesome.
Yeah, everyone is just cannon fodder except Ash. In the first movie, he's like a real character, and everyone after that, he's just fucking Bruce Campbell being a goober.
Yeah, it's Bruce Campbell being a goober, and I would love to have Bruce Campbell in another Evil Dead movie.
Ash vs. the Evil Dead is really fun.
Because Ash vs. the Evil Dead is awesome. But this movie takes a bunch of lesbians and throws them. That's a joke. That's a joke. But they are, and they fight the Evil Dead, and they get possessed like in the Evil Dead, and they do creepy shit, and the gore is like wild. Like there's like 2 or 3 moments. I'm not that squeamish when it comes to movies and stuff, but there were 2 or 3 moments where I was kind of like, ooh.
Yeah.
You know, like the cheese grater.
Oh yeah, that was rough.
I'll just say the cheese grater. I'm sure you can kind of make a mental image for yourself. It's cool. It's a good, gory, fun movie. Kind of brought me back to like Malignant vibes, which is a good thing. I fucking love when movies are like Malignant. Like I loved Malignant. So.
It's not that unhinged, but it is pretty unhinged. There are very few movies that are
Malignant was a very different unhinged.
Malignant does kind of live in the Evil Dead 2 realm.
Yeah. I really liked it. I thought the effects and the gore were fun. And it's an actually effective horror movie. I don't get scared by much when it comes to movies. Because I've seen a billion movies and I've seen a billion behind the scenes and I understand how movies work. So my mind just works in a way where it's like, oh, that's a cool effect. I wonder how they did that. Or I bet this is how they did that. Not this movie. Well, yes, this movie to an extent. But this movie actually got me in a few points. Not that I was particularly scared, but had me squeamish at a couple points, which is fun.
Yeah.
And I just thought it was a fun and engaging horror movie. And the characters were alright. Which is more than I ask for in a horror movie. I don't really give a shit about the characters in a horror movie. So the fact that the characters were alright was fun. And yeah, it was good. I really liked it. So, Aiden, would you recommend Evil Dead Rise?
Yep. I think I'm the exact target audience for Evil Dead Rise. If you like gory, over-the-top horror and a little bit of goofiness mixed in, it ain't the Evil Dead 2, but it is a lot of fun. And yeah, Connor, would you recommend Evil Dead Rise?
Yes, it was up there this year for me as one of my favorites, and it was a good horror movie. I'm typically either very much love horror movies or very much hate horror movies, and this is one that I very much loved. So, yeah, watch it. Have a good time and watch Evil Dead. What the fuck are Power Rangers colors?
I don't know, we probably can...
What the fuck is even
We
that?
could probably turn on the kitchen light so we're a little less dark. What is this called? Mighty Morphin Power Rangers Once and Always. I guess... Blue? Question mark? I guess blue. He's the main one on the cover. Yellow? There's a color swap on me.